Hello guys, welcome back to Etimune Tutorials. This is Karthik, the instructor for Object-Oriented Programming. In today's class, we'll be starting with the third chapter, that's Classes and Objects. So this is the entire syllabus for our third chapter, and in this video we'll be covering the first part, that's Introduction to Class Definition, Class Specifications, Member Functions, Data Members, Access Specifiers, Scope Resolution Operators. Introduction to Class. So basically a class is a set of data members and member functions. That is, it contains both variables and functions as a part of it. Class is a user-defined data type. It holds its own data members and member functions. Class can be accessed and used by creating instance of that class called object. You can compare this similar to a data type and a variable of that particular data type. Similarly, here we have a class and an object of that class. The variables inside the definition, that is the class definition, are called as data members, and the functions inside the class are called as member functions. Class is a blueprint which declares and defines characteristics and behaviors. Characteristics refers to the data members and behavior refers to the member functions. And also it should be noted that when we just declare a class, there will be no memory allocation to it. Memory will only be allocated once an object is created for that particular class. So this is basically a class. Here we have the class, which is the keyword, followed by the class name. And then we'll be having an open curly brace and a closing curly brace. It should be noted there is a semicolon at the end of the closing curly brace, and in that we have the access specifiers. These can be private, public, or protected. Then we have the data members, that are the variables to be used, and then we have member functions, methods to access the data members. That is, using these functions we can modify the value of these data members. Class is the keyword needed to declare a new class. Class name should be a name that we can use later to declare an object of its type. Member can be a native data type of a user-defined type. Functions can also be declared as members. Member functions of a class. Member functions are the functions which have their declaration inside the class definition and work on the data members of the class. So basically the member functions are used to modify the data of a particular class. If the member function is defined inside the class definition, it can be defined directly. If it is defined outside the class, then we have to use the scope resolution operator along with the class and the function name. More about the scope resolution operator we learn in this video. Member function defined inside the class. Here we have class followed by class name, that is cube, and then we have the public access specifier, and then here we have the data variable or the data member which is of integer data type and is called as side, and here we have the member function. So here we can see that using this member function called as getVolume, we are modifying the values, rather returning the value of cube of the side. Member definition outside the class. Here we can see that the body of the function, that is the method, is defined outside the class, but the prototype of the function is defined inside the class. So using the scope resolution operator, that is the class name followed by the scope resolution operator, and then we have the name of the method. So this means that the scope of the getVolume method is confined to the cube class. Calling class member function. We are creating an object of class cube and then calling the member function getVolume. Here we can see that using the class definition we have declared before, we are creating an object of it. Here C1 is the object of cube. So we are using the cube, that is the class name, followed by the object name C1. And now we are setting the value as C1.side is equals to 4. And then we are printing the volume of cube, that is Cout volume of cube C1 is equals to, here we have C1.getVolume. So what happens is that this side, which is 4 now, will be used to calculate the cube of it, that is 4 into 4 into 4, that is 64. Inside main we'll create object of class and we'll call the member function using the dot operator. So here this is the dot operator which we'll be using to access the member functions. Data members. There are two types of data members, that is private and public, and also protected is another type of data member. This partially comes under private data members. Private data members, the members which are declared in private section of the class are known as private data members. These can be accessed within the same class in which they are declared. So these cannot be accessed outside the class. Public members, the members which are declared in public section of the class are known as public members. Public members can access within the class and outside the class by using the object name of the class in which they are declared. Protected members. The protected data members can be accessed directly using the dot operator inside the subclass of the current class. So using the protected members, you can access a superclass. That is, when the concept of inheritance comes, you'll have a parent class and the child class. The parent class is also called as superclass sometimes. So using the object of the child class, you can access the members of the parent class or superclass. So this is the example. Here we have a class of test, and then the private members contains int a, float b, and a character string name. And here we have the prototype member function void get a. Here we'll be getting the value of a is equals to 10. That is, using get a, we'll be setting the value of a is equals to 10. And in the public section, we have int count void get b. B's value will be equal to 20. Here a and b and name are the private data members, and count is a public data member. While get a is a private member function and get b is a public member function. This can be found out using the access specifier block in which they are being declared. Access specifiers. Access specifiers in C++ define how the members of a class can be accessed. C++ has 3 new keywords introduced, that is public, private, and protected. The keyword public, private, and protected are called as access specifiers. A class can have multiple public, protected, or private variable sections. By default, all the members of the functions of a class is private. That is, if no access specifier is specified, it will be considered as a private member or method. Public, the data member and member functions declared public can be accessed by other classes too. The public members of a class can be accessed from anywhere in the program using the direct member access operator, that is the dot operator, with the object of the class. So what we'll be doing is, you can access any other members if they are under public type using the dot object of that class. Private, the class members declared as private can be accessed only by the functions inside the class. So as I said that this is used mostly to protect the data, and then they are not allowed to access directly by any object or function outside the class. Only the member functions or the friend functions are allowed to access the private data members of a class. Suppose there might be a case that using the same class you want to access the values of another private class. In that case, you will be modifying the original class as a friend of another class. That is, the internal functions should be modified as a friend functions. Protected, the protected access modifier is similar to that of the private access modifier. The difference is that the class member declared as protected are inaccessible outside the class, but then they can be accessed by any subclass or derived class of that particular class. The scope resolution operator is used to declare a method outside the class. If you are declaring a function in a class and then later want to define it outside the class, you can do it using the scope resolution operator. In the example, we are declaring a function speed in class bike. Later we are defining the function in the main class using the scope resolution operator. We'll have a look at it. So this is the class bike, and it has a public method which is void speed. So this is just the function declaration, but the actual body of the function is being declared outside the class. Here we can see that this body or the function definition is outside the class. So to let the compiler know that this particular speed method or function is confined or related to this class, we are using the scope resolution operator along with the class name. So here we can see that this is the return type, and then here in between both of these we have the bike, that is the class name, followed by the scope resolution operator, and then the name of the method, and then the body of the method. So we can see that using the bike object for the bike class, and then when we call bike.speed, this statement speed of bike is 90 kmph will be returned. So that's all from this lecture, guys. We'll be covering the remaining part in the next video. Thank you.